Aaron Lewis from Liberty Regret Norfleet here with Tommy Lepore here from Hello everyone, welcome inside the Red Earth Production Studios for another edition of YBMcast powered by Game 7 Baseball, Game7Baseball.com. Had a great conversation this week with Dave Penning. A lot of stuff going on from Kentucky to Illinois to Tennessee. You're looking for those tournaments, go check out Game7Baseball.com. Make a nice trip down around the Nashville area, up to Owensboro, Kentucky, up north to Quincy, Illinois. Great venues all over the state of Missouri, down into the Lake of the Ozarks and down toward Branson. And don't miss, next week we got Scott Bales coming on the podcast from Ballparks of America. Going to have a great conversation with Scott. Looking forward to that. But let's get into this today. I have to my right Scott Ewell, and I pronounced that correctly.
You did. You nailed it.
Boom.
Oh, Brian, let's start off.
Right. Head baseball coach at the University of Missouri St. Louis, and I appreciate you taking the time coming on and being a guest on the show, man.
I appreciate it. I appreciate you having me, and I know this is the third strike that I had to make it out here. I apologize for that, but I appreciate you having me out here.
That's great. As always, on the show here, our resident guru from PBR, Kevin Mulder. Kevin, how you doing, buddy?
I'm doing good.
How do you get the guru title? It's kind of
I don't know.
Good for you.
He's being too generous for sure.
Good for you.
Well, I'm the Joe Schmo guy. Okay. So you got to have somebody who's the guru.
The guru
right?
guy.
There you
All
go.
Right. And that's Kevin. Well, good. I'm changing your name in my phone to the guru guy.
It's always fun, you know. There you go. But we want to start off today. Scott is coming down. Took the UMSL job. This is your first season.
Yep.
At UMSL. Coming down from the great state of North Dakota.
The great cold state of North Dakota.
And just a little background. You're originally from Minnesota.
Yep.
Graduated Rosemont High School 2007. Played baseball, football. You wrestled?
Wrestled a little bit. Yep.
Wow.
Did a little bit of everything. So baseball and football were the two sports that I had the most passion for, but tried to stay as active as I could and stay as athletic as I could year round.
Yeah. Did you have aspirations for that MLB when you were playing high school ball?
I mean, I think I'd probably be a liar to say I didn't, because I think everybody who laces them up at some point did. But I just love playing the game. I just love competing, and I just, at the end of the day, I wanted to go win. And if that happened, cool. And if it didn't, then I'll figure that out. So I'm a day by day kind of guy. Sometimes I don't plan as much as I could, and the wife lets me know that every day. But I just want to go win. I want to go play and just be around the game as much as I can. So that's more I was kind of about. And if that happened, cool. If it didn't, well, here I am.
There you go. Kevin, you've got experience with this on the coaching career side. How do you get into coaching? What takes you that direction?
Well, I was back home driving a dump truck for a little while, and I was driving one day. I said, "Man, I don't want to do this," and so I probably sent out 200 applications and didn't hear back from all but 2 jobs, and the one actually didn't open up until late October. And he called me, and I was actually in the truck at the time, and he said, "You got time to talk?" And we did. So, and that's what got me into it, but kind of saved me from driving rock all over the place back home for a while.
That's awesome. And I used to always think when I'm coaching, that beats real work, doesn't it, Scott?
Yeah, absolutely.
Although there's days.
There's definitely days. Yeah, it's you know what though, it's showing up to the office every day to to figure out how I want to take BP or how I want to hit ground balls and making a throwing plan for our guys over the winter and being around a bunch of 17 to 22-year-old kids that you could have fun with every day and keep you young. I mean, nothing beats that. So you want to bang your head against the wall every once in a while, but I think my issues are a lot smaller than some others that you could say.
Hey, Coach, what? So you've obviously been up north. What attracted you to the UMSL job, which in my opinion is a phenomenal job? UMSL used to be a storied program, Division II program in the Midwest, and used to be a power. Used to honestly be the best team in the region in baseball. What are some of the things that drew you to UMSL?
Yeah, honestly, quite a bit, and you hit it on the head right there. I mean, I love winning. I hate losing, and my wife is from Tennessee, so living up in North Dakota wasn't it for her. And the April 20th, we got 4.5 feet of snow in Minot, and that was kind of the straw that she came and said, "Hey, it's time," and I kind of agreed, and we loved our time up there. But it was time, and I was gonna be really, really picky because I didn't have to leave, and this job came open, and we took a look at it, and I looked into the history of it, and I looked into the location of it, and just kind of into every little part that I needed, and I made my checklist of boxes of it needs to check this off for me to really be interested, and it checked every single one of them off. So the way I look at it at this level, like, it's not everybody's got the recipe to be a powerhouse, and not everybody's got the recipe to maybe be a World Series contender. And but if you've done it in the past, like, there is that kind of that guidebook to do it. And UMSL's been really good. So now it's my turn to find out what we're missing the last couple of years and what we got to do to kind of get it back there. So there's too many reasons to be good and not enough reasons to not be good here. So if I can stay out of my own way, I think we got a chance to get this thing rolling.
Well, one thing I've noticed right off the bat, which I think is probably the number one ingredient, is you guys have hit it with a ton of energy and enthusiasm, and it's certainly been noticed. You guys have made a presence just out in the baseball community, and I see you guys are picking up some signings, and so that's obviously step one, and you guys have nailed that part of it. So congratulations to a good start. I realize you haven't played a baseball game yet, but to me it seems like there's a ton more energy.
Well, I appreciate it. That was when I got the job. That was goal number one. Is just we needed to get UMSL's name back out there, and we need people to know about UMSL baseball, and they do right now, which is good. And if we can get people believing and on board, and not everybody's going to be on board right away, because we do got to prove it at some point, and I have no issues doing that, and we'll show everybody what we can do. But at the end of the day, people got to pay attention to see what we do, and if we go do it, nobody's looking for it, then nobody knows. So we just want to build as many connections as we can, and get the baseball community back on board, and believe in what we can do. And I think we've done a good job with that. We've spread our name out as much as we can, and tried to get to as many events as we can. And my assistant coaches, Coach Applewhite, Coach Fontenot, have worked extremely hard on the recruiting trail. They've been everywhere. I think they were both gone for 4 straight weekends this fall, and missed a few scrimmages a weekend just to get out there. But they were extremely willing. They wanted to do it, and I've had a lot of people call and just say, "Hey, it's been good seeing you guys out again." And we tried to get to as many junior college events as we could, and as many local high school events as we could. And obviously, we missed the summer portion of it, and that's a big one. And I'm excited to get there this summer. But we're doing what we can to get the energy back around this program, and I think we've had a good start.
Real quick, to that point, looking at your coaching career, you started in Tennessee.
Yep.
And one of your deals was recruiting coordinator.
Yep.
So, do you think that's one of your strengths in what you bring to the table?
I would say so. And it's, I don't do anything crazy. Everyone asks, like, what makes you a good recruiter? I just be myself, be real, make sure we're not going to fill somebody in on something that that isn't true here. And I don't make promises to anybody. I let them know what their opportunities are here. And but when we bring kids in, we make sure we're ourselves. And I don't want to be a guy on the visit, and all of a sudden they get here and I'm somebody different. And that's how you get kids in the portal. And we're gonna be who we are. We're not gonna hide anything here. When they get here, we're gonna show them the good, the bad, and everything in between. And before they leave here, we tell them, like, this might not be the right fit for you. And if it's not, that's okay. But if this is the right fit for you, you're gonna know, and you're gonna be a part of something special here. And we'd love to have you. So just be genuine. I mean, kids see that nowadays. Don't fill kids full of fluff that when they get here it turns you into a liar right away. I think if you get turned into a liar from start number one, then you're starting off on a bad foot. So we're gonna let our kids know what we got, and if they want to be a part of it, cool. If not, get out of my way. So
that's great, Coach. And you know what, Brian? It sounds like Coach Ewell gets this. It is about the players, and whether you're the smartest and greatest coach in the world or the worst coach in the world, at the end of the day, you got to have the players to be successful, and you're there to help them be more successful. But you got to have the horses, and Coach Ewell's off on a good start on that.
Yeah, bad coaches can win a lot of games with good players. Good coaches can't win any games with bad players.
You know, Kevin, you know this as well as anybody, and one of the things I was looking at, I went back and looked, I told him before we started, I went back and looked at your roster, because you're just removed from that. So that roster that's there at Minot State, this is where he was. You were at Minot State, which, as you told me, was 47 miles from the Canadian border, which that's cold.
Cold is an understatement. When you wake up and it's negative 50, yeah, that's cold.
And Kevin, you can speak to this. I was shocked. I was looking at your roster, and I'm like, look at all these kids from California and Arizona going to Minot State and playing for this man. That, to me, was really, I was like, well, there's something here. And just in you talking about being genuine, that was impressive. Do you think that is the key ingredient to that?
Yeah, I mean, I do. At the end of the day, like, you want to go play for somebody that you can trust and that you get along with, because they've got to deal with me every single day, whether it is me getting on them or me pushing them or me telling them what to do. And if they don't trust me, and I'm trying to do something with them or coach them, then they don't trust me. They're not going to listen. They're not going to get anything done. So I think that this being who we are is a huge part of everything for us. So it's worked, and we're going to keep trying that and go from there. Because again, I want kids who want to be here and want the fit is real. I don't want a kid who comes here and is trying to fit a square peg into a round hole. Like, we need that fit to be perfect, because it's a lot of time we spend together. And if it's not perfect, then that's okay. Don't come here. And we tell our kids that, not in a way of we don't want you. We tell them that in a way of we want you, but we want this to be perfect, because we don't want you in the portal. We want you here, and we want you loving everything about it, and we want to put rings on the finger and trophies on the wall. And it's going to have to happen with the perfect fit, not just an okay fit.
Hey, Coach, quick question about your thoughts with recruiting. Obviously, this is a much different spot than your last school, and there's some advantages to being in a large city. It's just under 3 million in the metro area, obviously. So there's a lot of players, and St. Louis is obviously rich with talent. Can you just give us, without shedding too many secrets, what are your recruiting plans? Are you targeting, JUCO guys, high school guys, all comers? What are your thoughts? What are you looking for with your recruiting philosophy here at UMSL specifically?
Yeah, we're going to target players who can help us win games. And I think so many people ask, well, does it have to be high school? Does it have to be junior college? Does it have to be portal guys? Like, I don't think it has to be anything. I think it has to be guys that, like we said, are the perfect fit. And if it's a high school kid, let's rock and roll. If it's a junior college kid, perfect. Let's do that too. And if we get a couple kids through the portal or whatever it is, then we'll make that fit too. So we're not going to over recruit. We're not going to have a roster of 60 guys. We're going to have a roster of 38 to 44 guys that fit perfectly here. So my philosophy is going to be pretty simple. Let's go find players that want to be here, that want to do the things that we're doing, that believe in what we're doing, and that want to win and hate to lose. Like, one of the biggest questions I ask every kid and every coach that we talk to about the kids is I know they like to win, because every college athlete likes to win. You don't play college sports if you don't like to win, but how much do you hate to lose? How much at practice when we're doing something, do you hate to lose to your buddy, or do you just okay with it? So I want the guys that hate to lose, and so we're, as far as the age group kids, like, we're going to go forwards, guys who can help us win, and we'll figure that part out from there. But we'd like to stay as local as we can, and by local, maybe not the 45 to an hour range, but maybe broaden that up to the 4-hour circle around here. If we can stay as local as possible, then we're going to. If we find a kid that's a little bit outside of that range that can help us win, that's a perfect fit, then yeah, we're gonna listen to that too. But our goal is to stay local, and I think we're starting to build some connections around here that we're gonna be able to do that. And just getting calls from the junior college and the high school coaches saying, "Hey, coach, I got a guy for you. Hey, coach, I got a guy for you." And not all of them have been to the standard that we want yet, and that's okay, because right now they don't know who we're going to be. They know who we are, and we're just making sure that they know that what we are going to be. So, because if I don't tell that coach the truth, then he's going to keep sending me that caliber player when I want the better caliber player. So we're going to let them know, and I think those conversations have gone extremely well with a lot of coaches. And I had 2 alumni yesterday actually just randomly reach out to me to introduce themselves for the first time. I didn't know who they were, and coaches, one was a little bit more local than the other, but "Coach, I got a guy for you." And that's, if I can build a team on guys that I get from local connections of alums, I think that's a really good start, and a kind of shows where this program's going to be at and where it's at. So I want guys to be around here and be proud of what we are, and if I can build it locally, I think it just gets easier down the road, because the local kid's going to coach local, and that kid's going to send me guys down the road. So if we could stay local, perfect. If I have to find a good player somewhere else, then we will. But let's go find good players and let's win games.
It kind of hits a little bit on the history of the program that I referred to. You can tell that the former players, that it was a proud program, it still is a proud program, but that the former players care about the program, want it to be successful. So I'm sure that feels good to hear those guys reaching out and are excited about a new coach. And I know, there's some great junior college baseball in our state, in our region. And there's good high school baseball, so it's exciting for there to be another good option for these players to call home, and we're looking forward to UMSL getting it going again.
Awesome, and so are we. And again, it's been a good start for us so far, so we're excited.
I want to ask real quick, because Kevin, you can jump in on this. Assistant coaches, your staff, and whatnot. Are these guys that were here already, or did you hire them? How does that process work?
Yeah, so Coach Applewhite was with me at Minot State for a year and a half, and then he left and got a job at Northern Oklahoma Tonkawa for a year, and then I got the job here. And I kind of didn't really give him a choice. I just called him and said, "Hey, let's go, pack your bags." And he kind of thought I was joking, and then we called again the next day, and I said,
"You're not here yet."
And he says, "Man," I said, "Let's go. Like, you're coming." And 3 days later, he was coming. So the one thing I wanted to focus on with my coaching staff is I wanted to bring in guys that I didn't have to worry about coaching up first. Sometimes bringing in a new staff, you got to worry about them learning me and me learning them, and I got to do too much coaching of my staff, which I'm okay doing. But right now, I wanted to put my focus in coaching my players and recruiting other good players. So I was really comfortable bringing him in. He's a good recruiter. He works hard. He wants it. He wants to be good. Guys absolutely love working with him in the batting cages. He knows what he's doing offensively. So it was a pretty easy fit for me there. Coach Fontenot, he actually got hired by the old coach this summer. And then 2 weeks later, the old coach resigned, and he was kind of stuck in limbo and still kind of wanted to be here, but I honestly had no idea if he was going to be here because he didn't know if the new coach was going to let him. And I got the job, and I made a phone call, and I bet you I knew in the first minute and a half that he was going to stay for me. And just because the energy he had, what he wanted to do. He's a coach. I've been recruiting. I've been doing this. I've been doing that. I'm ready to roll. And I didn't even know anything what he knew about baseball. I didn't know that yet. But I knew he was going to be a fit just because the energy and the want to. And at the end of the day, that's what makes a good coach is you got to have the energy. You got to have the want to. So he was a pretty easy fit. And then the other guy that we brought on board, Brock Bond, he's a former big league guy or played AAA for the Giants for 7 or 8 years. We brought him on board. He's kind of doing all of our infield stuff and just helping us out with a lot of other mentality and just other little things with that. So he's been a really good addition. And then we got a student assistant, Evan Fafaro. He guy who's kind of had a pretty tough go at it with injuries in his career. And he, instead of him just hanging it up, he stuck around and helped us coach. And he's turned into a really good young coach that I think has got a pretty bright future in this thing. So the staff, I kind of got lucky and fell into a few really good pieces here. But I think that's important because, again, a good assistant coach make a good head coach. So they make me look a lot better than I sometimes deserve to. But they work extremely hard. They want it. And I tell our guys this all the time. Like, I'm not going to ask my players to do anything that I don't expect my staff to do more of. So my staff knows that. They work extremely hard. And it's easy for them to portray the message to our players because they're going to put in that effort too.
Assistant coaches are vital, and that's you nailed all that. And often those are the guys that are, I don't want to say the face of the program because that's Coach Ewell, but they're going to be out on the road a lot and be a liaison between the high school coaches or the JUCO coaches or in front of these kids. So they got to represent the program right, and they're also with the players all the time. So, and having that like you talked about, not coaching the coaches and having that familiarity with them, that's huge. And you can't be good without good assistant coaches. So it sounds like you've got that part nailed.
Yep. You can't do it all, and good coaches got to let coaches coach. And just like we let our players play, we got to let players play and coaches coach. And as long as I can stay out of their way, then I think we're going to be in a good spot.
Just sitting here, Kevin, you can feel the energy from this guy, right?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. I wasn't lying. I've seen it. Like, you can tell the presence.
I dig it, man. I'm excited. I'm sitting here. Let's go play ball, man.
I'm ready. Let's lace it up. Let's go. Let's go.
Oh, mercy. Well, and I think that's got to translate to players when they're sitting there, the passion for the game. And when you're talking about coming to UMSL, it's regardless of what we might think or this or that, you have to bring that presence. Most of the kids today, I would imagine, probably don't know the history of the school. Would I be correct in that?
Yeah, 100% you are. And we do try to fill them in and make sure they know all the good and the bad parts of it. Because again, we're not trying to hide anything. But yeah, I would say that's. We've got kids that have visited that from 15 minutes away that have never visited UMSL, never even heard of UMSL. So there's a lot of naiveness with these kids right now that we're trying to fill in, and they're getting there.
I feel like kids' shelf life on memory is like maybe 2 to maybe 3 seasons. Like they don't have the depth of knowledge that 100%, the old guys have.
100%. And what have you done for me lately? That's what these kids think, and that's okay. We'll fill them in and we'll let them know what we're thinking and what our plan is. So I can handle that.
I want to go to this, and I think this is another step. And when you're talking about the program, and I had made mention to you about, because it is like this rebuilding, and I use that term with you, and you're like, no, we're not into that. Kind of share with the folks what you said, because I thought that was good. Because I use rebuilding, and go, no, we're not rebuilding anything. It's go time.
Yeah, too many people use that term rebuild. I think it's it's kind of a lazy term. It's just, we're going to do this the slow way, and we'll win a couple more games, then a couple more games, and I don't think you get anywhere by that. I think you just spin your tires. And again, I hate losing. I didn't take this job to lose. I took the job to win, and we might not have the most talent in the world. We might not have this or that, but we could sit back and look at what we don't have, or we could sit back and look at what we do have and find out how to win like that. And there's a lot more talent here than I expected there to be, to say that first off. But we're going to find a way to win with what we got, and then we're going to win more next year. And then we're going to. But if you talk about this rebuild, you're kind of admitting the fact that we're not any good, and we've got to do this way or that way. And no, let's dive in. Let's get our hands dirty. Let's go win right now. And we're not going to be the most talented team on the field. And I don't. To be honest with you, I don't care if we're ever the most talented team on the field. I want to look somebody in the eye and I want to say, you know what, we're going to work harder than you today, and we're going to be better than you today. And then let's just go do it. And are we going to be a little bit uglier doing it? I don't care. At the end of the day, if we walk off the field, we're 1-0, then we won. So the rebuilds, I don't like that word. I think it's a lazy word, and I think it's a word that coaches use to be okay with not winning right away. And I'm not okay with not winning. So we're going to make it happen. We're going to find out how to win games with what we have right now, and then we're going to keep building off of that.
I want to bring this to bear real quick. In this and in recruiting, how much do you know? And I'll be honest. I don't think I've been on the UMSL baseball campus myself or been at the field.
Yeah, see, what are we doing? Let's
go.
go.
I'm going to have to get out there now, Coach.
Come on, Brian.
I know.
A relatively new facility. I'd be lying if I knew exactly, but it's less than 10 years old.
It is, yeah. Yep.
Brand new park, and it's a big campus and fairly close to the airport. But it's a good field. You got what you need there to be successful, certainly.
Yeah, and that's what I tell kids. Do we have all the bells and whistles that maybe some places do? No. Do we have enough to win? Absolutely. And if you're more worried about having all these cool gadgets and whatever it is to tell your buddies that you have, then probably not the right guy for me. Do we have the tools to get you developed? Absolutely. We've got some technology and we've got a lot of things like that to get you better. But we don't have the prettiest things in the world, but we have enough to win, and we have enough for guys that want to show up and lace them up and roll their sleeves up and go to work. So that being said, that's not taken away from what our facilities are. I think we have nice facilities.
Sure.
So we've got what we need to win here, and that's, again, at the end of the day, I think that's all you need.
Are you guys? Is it dirt or is it turf?
It's dirt.
It is dirt.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. So
curious. I didn't know, and like I said, I got to get out there.
Yeah, come on out. You let me know when you want to come out. We'll whether it's in season, before season, we'll tour you around. We'll show you what we got.
Sweet. Kevin, there we go, man. I'll bring Kevin. We'll get the cameras.
There's the invite.
Yeah, he can come too. Absolutely.
Swinging. I love that. Thanks, Coach.
You bet.
I love that stuff. I think this is where, the whole process, and we've talked about this, and Kevin, you can kind of throw your stuff in here this way, because we've talked about recruiting and kids, the talent levels. As you said, the opportunity to play baseball, and if you got local kids here, going to a school that's, 20 minutes, 30 minutes away, out here, we're in St. Charles right now. UMSL, my son transferred, actually, he finished his degree at UMSL.
Okay.
So, and he was driving from O'Fallon. It's 20 minutes, 30 minutes, and it's not a bad drive. Mom and dad are around. I think those are interesting opportunities. Agreed, Kevin?
Yeah, definitely. And we've talked about, Brian, I brought this up a number of times on the show, how good the college baseball is in this region, especially the non-Division One. We have some very successful junior college programs. Webster University obviously goes to Division III World Series somewhat routinely. Wash U has done really well. Has also been to the D3 World Series. Missouri Baptist has been to the NAIA World Series, and then we've had a number of strong Division II programs in the area. Maryville's got it going a little bit. Lindenwood obviously is now Division I. They were the number one Division II team in the country. Coach, I think that felt there's going to be a little bit of a void in the area with them moving to Division One. It wasn't more than 2 years ago, I believe, they were the number one Division II team at a point in the polls in the country. So that, to me, that means there's an opportunity, and obviously the GLVC is a very strong baseball conference as well.
Yeah,
I'm guessing that's part of the reason that you were attracted to the job.
It is, and those were both boxes that needed to be checked for me to be really interested in this job, and they did. So, it's a strong league. It's a league that has a lot of high end talent, and then again, like you said, there was an opening. There's a couple teams that were leaving the league, and one that's right down the street from us. So, I think that created an opening for another team to maybe take a jump, and I don't see any reason why that can't be us. I think we could have done it with them staying in the league, but the fact that they are making that exit, I think it does open up something for us to maybe jump on board and be that next powerhouse in this league to just strengthen this league even more, because the more you can add to the top end talent in the league and take away from that bottom half, the stronger you make your league, and the more people do want to stay here. So there's an opening here, and not an opening just to be a good team, but an opening to be a team that does threaten to be a national powerhouse every year again.
And Brian, we've talked about this, and maybe Coach can expand on this a little bit. But I've always wanted to do a show talking about the different levels of college baseballs and baseball and what there are to offer. And Coach, I'm sure being the competitor, yeah, if Lindenwood stays in, yeah, you want to have the mindset we're going to pass them up. But there are some differences between Division I and Division II in terms of a kid being able to attend them. Not everyone has the academic requirements to go. It's a different set of requirements for Division I versus Division II. So sometimes you can recruit a different player. I used to coach at Central Missouri, and we used to make a living on recruiting guys that couldn't get into Division I baseball from an academic standpoint. Not that that's the only target, but I remember it would be college algebra. When we'd recruit the junior college players, the guys that didn't have that or couldn't pass that class, they'd be committed to maybe a Division I school, and then we'd snag them because we could get them into school type thing. So there is some differences between the level beyond the level of play, because it has been proven. You turn on a big league game, or you look at the MLB draft. If you're good enough, there's an avenue to get into pro ball out of Division I, II, III, junior college, NAIA ball, and maybe expand on that a little bit, Coach.
Yeah, absolutely there is. I mean, if you go put up numbers, they're going to find you, especially in an area like we're in right now. Like, we're in an area where baseball's huge, and if you can put up numbers, and if you can light up a radar gun nowadays, it kind of seems like what that is if you can put up numbers there, people are going to come watch you. And you kind of touched on the recruiting side, is you got to find what can you do differently maybe from everybody else, or find those areas of what these guys can't do but we can do. And maybe it is the GPA, and we're not going to make a living on guys that are 2.2 GPA guys, because that puts more gray hair on the head than needs to be. I don't want to sweat my December break every year and see who's going to be eligible or not. But now, that being said, are we going to take a guy or two like that because they're going to help us win? You bet, and we'll figure it out. But just, we got to find what's going to be different and what we're going to be good at, and what we can do that these guys can't, or that they're not doing. And you talked about Minot a couple times. That's what we did. We go to Arizona, California, and in Canada when I was up there. So I don't exactly know what our difference is going to be here yet, and there might not be as much different. There might be just let's just go out, recruit people, and work harder than somebody, and win a guy because of that, and that's okay too. But the best recruiters, the best teams in the world find different and find what they can be different at, and we're going to do that. It's just, we're going to find out how we got to get there, and once we get that niche, we'll take off.
One last thing here, Coach, is we're working towards things and building towards this. I met you out at a PBR event. We were in Columbia,
Yep.
right? How much, when you start talking about recruiting, do you look at these services and dealing with this? Because, me as a person, I'm learning that when I was coaching back in the day and my son moving up, we didn't use PBR. I didn't think about it, didn't know in that respect, but I see this as an opportunity. And how do you use services like this when you're starting to look at players?
Yeah, for the player, I think it's just a phenomenal resource. I mean, just so many more players are getting noticed now. Mm-hmm. I think on the coaching side, it has created the ability to be a little bit lazier of a recruiter sometimes. Good or bad, however you want to look at that. I think guys who maybe don't work as hard can jump on the internet and find the good players and sign them off with just a couple of videos. And that's okay. I mean, coaches are going to do that, and that's fine. And there's no more hidden gems anymore, right? Like if you're a good player, you're going to be seen, just like we kind of just talked about with the pro side of things. Like Kevin does his job well. He knows where players are, and if a guy is not seen a ton, he's going to do a write up on him, and then he's going to get 6 phone calls on him. Then the kid's going to be signed 3 weeks later, and that's awesome for these kids. But for us, like it just it's a huge fact checker for us, and the ability for us to go, hey, we've seen this kid 2 or 3 times. What do his metrics look like here and at this event, and just the consistency of it, because that's what we're looking for. If we want a kid to be the same thing every game, then he needs to be the same thing every game right now. And if there is an event we can't make it out to and they've got a bunch of video, we just go look at it. And but there's also been times where we get on the PBR site and go watch a kid's video for the first time and then make a phone call to Kevin or whoever it is and say, hey, is this a good player? And he says yes, and then we go watch him. So we've signed a ton of kids by watching the video for the first time on PBR or whatever site it is, and kind of digging more, finding out if we think is a player that we should go watch, then we go watch them. So, and then just the events, just to go get a lot of good players all at one time for us to go watch is huge. So kind of a time saver that way, and especially early in the summer or late summer or kind of the recap or early fall where we can kind of fact check our lists again and go from there. So they're huge for us. They're nice. And I for us, like we use it quite a bit.
I always say this, and I coached college baseball for 16 years.
Yep.
Now in my new role, I don't offer scholarships. That's up to the coaches to decide. We simply try to provide it, make it easier for these coaches. But I'm guessing that this, or hopefully we've saved you some time, or coaches some time. You watch a video. Sometimes we can watch the video. Yeah, I don't need to drive 2.5 hours to go see that one.
Correct.
I better get my butt over there and go see that one because that looks kind of interesting. And I texted him, and he says he's pretty good. So and also from a recruiting budget standpoint, take the local kids out. You obviously have done well in other states. You want to lay eyes on a kid from Sacramento, California. It's a lot easier to get on the internet and click some videos and watch and follow up with some phone calls. You can't literally fly all over the country to see every single player, right?
Yeah, 100%. I mean, it's just to find the kid and just see a kid that you won't see every day. And we've signed a couple kids. I can't really say names right now with paperwork issues, but a kid this year that we saw the video for the first time there. We made a phone call, and a week later he was on campus, and a week later after that he was signed. So it is huge, especially for if we are going to do an out-of-state kid, a Sacramento kid, or Arizona, wherever it is we decide. But it's easy to go watch the video and then call coach and see if the kid's a good fit for us. So it is far more beneficial than it's not. I joke about the lazy recruiter, it wasn't a bad thing, but
it's true.
It is true, and we're not going to be like that. I very rarely will sign a kid without seeing him play in person. If I do, it's got to be from a coach I do trust and I've got some past history with. If I see the video, then watch it and I'll do my best to go make sure we can see him play at least one time in person, because there are times where video can lie, and Kevin's probably got pretty good at editing out some videos and making a kid look better than he is. I don't know.
Thankfully, I don't do any of the editing for both the player and for my sake.
Yeah, you're right. But
you are correct, and that's, like I said, it can get a kid a chance to be seen. And,
correct. That's at the end of the day, that's all you ask for. You ask for a chance. Same thing with us as a coach. Like, all we need is a chance, and for us when we recruit, like if we can get a kid on campus, that's our chance. And if we don't sign them off for that, that's okay. Yeah. But at least we were able to shoot our shot. And if we can't get them on campus, then we don't get to put our best effort for it. So same thing with this kid. These videos give them their chance to shoot their shot, and then it's up to them to figure out from the rest from there, because you don't play for them, you just give them that opportunity, which is huge.
Absolutely.
Coach, I got a quick question, so I'm going to put you to it a little bit here. So obviously you're going into your first season. What are your current recruiting needs? And I know, trust me, I get it. Your recruiting needs are good baseball players. Are you still looking to sign guys like when we get into the springtime? Are you still looking to bring in new players for next year? Or is there a certain position that you're maybe full at or looking to sign? Pitcher, I'm sure, is one of them, but as it is every coach.
Yeah. You kind of stole my line of what we're still looking for is just good baseball players. I think too many coaches pigeonhole themselves sometimes as saying, I need this guy, I need a third baseman, I need a second baseman, or I need a left fielder. Like, I want good baseball players, and if we bring in a shortstop and he gets beat out at shortstop, but he's still one of our best 9 players, I want him to be able to go play third base or left field. And too many kids nowadays get this idea that they're a shortstop, and all of a sudden they get beat out, and I tell them, hey, let's go play left field. They say, no, coach, I'm a shortstop. I said, no, you need to be a good baseball player. So we're going to recruit good players, and if it's a shortstop, perfect. If it's a left fielder, you better be able to hit, you better rake, right? Because left field is a spot where you better hit. But again, we're just
amen to that.
Yeah.
The only exception, coach, might be some guys are just pitchers and not baseball players. But
pitchers is a whole different level. You're 100% right. Just don't do anything but throw the ball hard and get people out. But as far as needs, like we are still open and we are still looking. I wouldn't say we've got 5 spots open in the high school class right now. I think it's probably a little bit smaller than that. And we are going to be a little bit picky, and we do want it to be the right fit. I love athletes. I want kids who can really run. I don't want base cloggers. If you're going to be a base clogger, you better hit the ball over the fence 15 times. So I want guys who can really run and just athletes. And if we can find that fit, then we'll make it happen. But if it's not the perfect fit, then kind of what we talked about earlier, I'm not going to bring that kid in because I don't think it's fair to him. Yeah. So we need to do a lot. We need to bring in a lot of good players here to keep this thing trajectory rolling how we want it to. But I'm not going to bring in so many kids and have a roster full of 60. So I'm going to do this the right way and the fair way to kids and to us. So we're going to bring in the perfect fit, and if it's not there, then we'll let the kid know it's not a perfect fit. So, but we're probably going to find 2 or 3 kids in the spring that pop that haven't yet, and we'll be there with open arms waiting for them if they can help us win games.
That's awesome. And what players should have just heard there is if you get recruited by UMSL, you're going to have every opportunity to earn a spot and playing time on the field. And that's all you can ask for, in my opinion, if you're a player. Just an opportunity to be able to earn a spot on the field or in the lineup.
Absolutely.
You just corroborated our conversation for the last 6 months, right?
Yeah, well, there's a living, breathing coach right there backing all this up. So this is great.
There you go. You're welcome. I don't know how I did that, but you're welcome.
Where are we starting off? Tell us as you head into 2023. What's the early season schedule? I don't know if I'm guessing it hasn't been released yet, but can you give us a sneak preview of what we got going early in the season?
Absolutely. It is released. It's on our website, and we'll do a graphic kind of showing it off here's coming up soon. But we'll second weekend of February, we're going to head down to Alabama, Huntsville, and go play them 4 games, and they can hit. So we better be ready to play right away because they can swing it. And then the following weekend, we go out to Rogers State in Oklahoma, and we'll play them 4 times. Another team that's kind of plays a brand of baseball similar to what I like. They're gritty. They play hard. They don't really care what the situation is. They're just going to go try to win a ball game. If it's they got to drop down a bunt or hit a sac fly or hit the ball over the fence or make that inning-ending diving play up the middle, then they're going to do that. So going to be a tough team in a good league that's been pretty darn good the last couple of years. And we've got a couple teams from up north coming down. We got Crookston and Winona State from my old conference coming down for 4-game sets on separate weekends. So it's going to be a fun non-conference schedule. It's kind of got a mix of a little bit of everything. Got a team that just likes to bang a little bit. Got a team that's just kind of grindy, and Crookston is another team who's just a really gritty, know what they're good at and be really good at it kind of team. And Winona's kind of a little bit different every year. Sometimes they've got some juice, sometimes they run, sometimes they pitch it. And they got a new coach right now too. So kind of got a good mix in our schedule to kind of battle test us to get ready for every different style of team right now. So just can't win a game the same way every time. Got to know how to win games different ways, whether it is home run ball or small ball or let's just go throw a shutout and shake hands after the game, whatever it is. So this schedule is going to allow us to do that, which is cool.
Well, that's exciting. And one point I want to emphasize to all the high school, specifically the high school guys, but even the JUCO guys, but specifically the high school, get out and watch. Go to a game. Get out there and they got their schedule posted. Get out there and watch pregame. See what these dudes look like during batting practice. Watch them work, do in and out, and then watch the game. These high school players, see where those guys stack up, and you're going to be surprised at the level of play that these guys are at. So other than working hard and getting in the weight room and working at your craft, I think that's the best thing a high school baseball player can do is get out and watch some of these teams so you know where you have to get to if you want to be at the level for an UMSL to come recruit you.
I would definitely echo that sentiment. I don't think enough guys come watch our level of play and understand what it is. I think they go to the Division I games and see all that, and they don't come watch our level and even the junior college level or whatever level it is. Like there's a lot of good players here, and we talked about it right away this morning. We've got guys that are 92 to 96, 97. We might not have 10 of them, but there's guys that throw hard at this level. There's guys who really run at this level. Our center fielder's a 6'3", runner. So we've got guys with high-end elite tools, and it's not just the Division I level that has that. So when you say you're too good for us on the phone, just know that that's probably not the case. So come watch our game, and you'll hopefully be pleasantly surprised.
We're going to have to do a segment on this one day, but Coach touched on it there. The difference between Division I and Division II usually isn't the top end player. It is more the depth, especially when you get into like bullpens and backup infielders and things of that nature. You go down to Mizzou, their 16th, 17th pitcher is still going to be an 89, 93 guy with really good stuff, and he might be 6'2", 6'3". At the Division II level, you go on a Friday night, you're going to watch 2 really good pitchers pitch. That first guy out of the bullpen is going to be really good. And then, maybe the eye test isn't quite the same. Maybe coach has a guy that's 5'9" that still throws pretty hard with a good breaking ball. So the quality of play is still at a really, really high level. And I think it's important for specifically our high school and middle school players, get out and watch these guys play.
I think you were spot on our conversation before when I got here right away, because I think you said that word for word what you and I talked about right away. So it's not the high end talent, it's the depth and the look test is what the main difference is.
Yeah. This guy's, and this is what and I alluded to it. I had a chance to talk to Coach before we started the show and before Kevin actually got on. But this is the conversation we've been having for quite some time, Kevin, right?
It absolutely is.
And hopefully that's been the point. That's one of our goals with Youth Baseball Midwest is to educate people, to bring that conversation. And having coaches like yourself and Coach, I really appreciate it, talking at this level and bringing these things to bear. I think it's important to have these conversations so that kids can make better, parents can make better decisions, more informed decisions. Because Kevin always talks about go where you can play, right, Kevin?
100%. And it's individual decision for different guys. You need to ask yourself, am I going to be able to get on the field as a freshman? Am I going to be, on the travel roster? Am I going to be the 35th man? Am I going to be able to start as a freshman? These are important questions to ask yourself. It's going to be a right or a wrong answer, just depending on each individual. But these are things to consider when choosing a college.
Yeah, absolutely. Go where the fit is, and that's too many people think the fit is the D1 title, that they get to wear the D1 gear and tell their girlfriends they're D1. But we can win a lot of games here too. So,
and that's what you've been talking about the whole time, Coach. I really like that. Is this your fit? Is this the perfect fit? Are we working together here? Everybody, common goal, common thought, and I think that is what makes a champion. Everybody on the same page, working towards the same goals. I really do.
Absolutely. You can't do it by yourself. Got to do it as a group.
Absolutely. Guys, great conversation. Coach, again, thanks. Kevin, always good stuff, bud.
Absolutely, Coach Ewell. Good luck this spring. Look forward to getting out to a baseball game. And you guys are off to a great start, and looking forward to following you guys this spring.
Awesome. I appreciate it. And if you guys ever need anything from us, don't hesitate to reach out.
Appreciate that. Oh, we're definitely going to come out.
I'll save you a seat.
There you go. And we got to come out, and we do. I want to come out. I appreciate it for you to let us. We'll come in and video the facility. I love that stuff, man.
Perfect.
That'd be fun. That'd be a great time. Kevin and I will come out and stick our nose in there.
There you go. There you go.
Everybody, thanks for tuning in. If you like what we're doing, please, first time watching, hit the subscribe button. We appreciate that greatly. Hit the like because that helps the algorithm. Share it with your friends. If there's information here that you really enjoyed, we appreciate it. And right next to that subscribe button, hit that dinger because that's what we do around here. We hit dingers. You like that?
Yeah, I like that. I like that.
That will get you all your notifications for upcoming episodes of YBMcast, and we appreciate the support. So, everybody, have a great day in the Lord. All you pitchers, keep throwing strikes. And hitters, Kevin.
Hit them where they ain't.
Hit them where they ain't.
It's good advice, right?
I like it.
We'll see y'all next time.